It was a few days before September 11th, 2001. That was the day I quit Disney. I turned in my uniform, signed the papers, and ran. Disney World Magic Kingdom, 2001, September. It was the parades department manager, head manager Trish, who made my life a living hell. I believe the day I signed those papers, I died. Inside, anyway. In December of 1999, I got diagnosed by a doctor as transgender, or as I like to say it, a princess. And I had started, my transition at work, but I hadn't told anyone except for Jim, who was a gay friend of mine who knew. And I guess secretly he went behind my back and told Trish, and that started a whole plethora of crazy while I was telling my family to get them, set up with the news first. He went and told her, and then she started coming down to the parade route to inspect me as I would come out of the donkey costume of Eeyore. And so every day I would come off the parade route for day parade. She would be standing over to the side, and she'll send her supervisors under her over to me to get me off the set right in front of everybody, hundreds of performers and stuff, inspecting my hair, measuring my hair, telling me I need to cut my hair shorter. So I've been with the company nearly 10 years with the same hair, and I guess she thought I was growing my hair out because of the transition, but my hair was actually always that length, like kind of like a bob cut up to my ears, and that was an issue for her. She wanted me to have a very African American afro tapered short fade look, which I never had that since I was a little bitty kid. So I didn't know where all of that was coming from because I had worked all over the company. Prior to being in character entertainment, I had worked in the front desk at Wilderness Lodge Resort. Prior to that, I was at was that Epcot Center? No, I was at Epcot Center after that. No, I was at Epcot Center first. Then before that, I was at the front desk resort at Wilderness Lodge. Prior to that, I was at the Disney MGM Studios at the time as a tour guide and a trainer. And then I was cross-trained into food and beverage, cross-trained into merchantainment. So I was everywhere I could possibly be with the same hair. So I didn't understand why all of a sudden, after all of these years, there was an issue with my hair. Not knowing that Jim had went and told her what was going on with me. So a few months into my transition, I finally had to tell Trish that I was trans. Gave her a doctor's note because she kept wanting me to cut my hair shorter and shorter and shorter, and I just couldn't cut it anymore because, it just was not making any sense. And then when I told her that, gave her the ammo to take my seniority away, which I've been there nearly, like I said, 10 years, and I had the highest seniority as far as in that department. I was getting all of the shifts, that I wanted in entertainment, as far as like special events, traveling and stuff like that, making $20 an hour plus. And I could get whatever breakfast shifts or dinner shifts I wanted. I never had to work in the parks in all of the heat out in ever out there. So all of a sudden I was, told I couldn't work in any of those areas anymore because they couldn't accommodate me with a bathroom. She used the bathroom trick to tell me that, that was the reason why they were taking everything away. She immediately gave all my shifts to lower seniority people and new hires and stuff like that, which was like an insult and slap in the face. And I found myself in a Tweedledum costume, not Tweedledee, but Tweedledum, out in the park on hormones in the hottest part of the summer, burning up, sick to my stomach, throwing up, and then having to walk a long ass ways to a bathroom. Literally, my whole entire 20-minute break took me to get down there and get back. 10 minutes down, quickly change, use the bathroom, and get back on set. And that was just ridiculous. So I did it as long as I could, and then finally I had to realize like I can't make money anymore. I'm not gonna be able to pay my mortgage. I'm not gonna be able to pay for my Jeep. Gonna have to quit. Like I'm gonna have to leave the company and move on. And I did. And that day, I signed those papers. I died. I felt like a death came over me inside because I was having to leave my friends, leave the lifestyle that I had worked so hard for, leave a company that I absolutely loved, a place where I found myself, found peace, and all of this, that was being taken away from me because of, Trish and a handful of people who didn't want to see me transition. Even though I died that day, deep, deep down inside of me, there was a small flame still burning. And it would be 20 years of bouncing around from place to place trying to get my life on track before I would find myself, back home with my family and getting the transition completed finally. Literally 20 years. And then I began to tell the story of myself in a new way and using imagery, using Kitty So Mean, and began to shape up the Mermaid Diaries, the Mermaid Chronicles stories um, to as a rebirth, a new beginning for myself. All the imageries and stuff that you've seen over the years is a way of making up for lost time. And I wanted to show Trish and all the people who were involved in that they didn't stop me. I'm still here, and the story's going to be told my way. You don't get to tell my story of how I should and shouldn't be or who I should or should not be. I can tell that story, and nobody can tell it but me. And that's exactly what I plan to do until, it's my time is up on the earth. And when my time is up on the earth, I hope that there are some children somewhere on the planet, I don't care what part in the 6 continents, who have heard my story, and they can keep it going as a reminder of the way you shouldn't treat somebody when they're on the verge of suicide and their life is on the brink of destruction. You don't get in the way and make it worse. You get out of the way and you either help them or you leave the person alone, especially if it has nothing to do with you whatsoever. It wasn't nothing to do with work when you're inside of a costume and nobody can see you. You're not allowed to talk. So you tell me, what was she getting out of it? What were they getting out of it other than just harassment and bullying? I can't really seem to understand it myself. I try to make sense of something that doesn't make sense, but it is what it is. But one thing I can tell you is that thank God I didn't kill myself. I'm still alive. I'm a happier person as a princess. Um, and I love the life that I have. Whether it's, not ideal of, finances of financial wealth. I don't have a house anymore. I don't have a Jeep or all those things. Well, I have those things, but not, the stuff that I had back then that I worked really hard for. I've inherited some stuff, but other than that, um, the transition happened and she didn't stop me. And that was the main thing, is that I survived and I, kind of like rebirthed myself, in an anime way, in a very animated way. And I'm still here and I'm still talking about it. And I'm going to continue to talk about it because the tears don't stop for me. I'm still crying about what happened so long ago. And I'm just want to keep talking about it. I don't want people to forget about me. I don't want to die forgotten. Thank you.